And so we arrive at the final tier, Hatchling. Well, yes and no. Also, just so you know, Apatosaurus should also be bumped down into here. That was a goof by us. We're gonna definitely fix that. But, Apatosaurus, not is hatchling material. It's got really, really good HP, but that's all it has. It's got garbage output, no immunities or resistances, and a lot of these creatures in here can't do anything. Even some of them are kind of like one-trick ponies, but even then, it's like really stretched. But yeah, let's get into it. Let's start off with Ankylosaurus Gen2. It's just got a strike and a shield. That's all it has. Superior vulnerability is a good strike for one creature with only one strike, but that's all it has. Skip you. Argentinosaurus, one of the lousiest rares. It used to be one of the best. They nerfed the crit chance. It's got that dumb extended critical strike, which doesn't work. It's got terrible multipliers, terrible bulk. It tries to be bulky, but it's not. And it just is not. It's not able to compete in the meta anymore. Bajadasaurus is kind of like Sonorosaurus, but even worse. Superior vulnerability, really good move, but it's just that it tries to get to devastation, but it's so frail for something that wants to use devastation that it'll never use it, unless it's facing creatures in this tier. Deinonchyus, it's got 132 speed again, kind of like a gimmick, but it just doesn't do as much as like Velociraptor could with this. It's got less attack. It's definitely more defensive, but it's not really defensive at all still. Dimetrodon Gen2, strike and rampage, that's all it has. Good immunity, so definitely one of the betters in this tier. But it's not doing much with it. It's not able to do much at all. Dimorphodon. The amount of people that say this creature is the worst in the game is annoying, because it's not. Dimorphodon is still really bad, I will say. 500 damage. That was rude. I would say that's rude by Ludia, but it still can actually hit unboosted. I know can take out Gemini Titan and Maxima. It kamikaze them. It goes down with them, but it could still take them down, which is pretty cool. Again, but it's like in such precise scenarios that it's almost negligible. Diplocaulus Gen1 and Gen2. Diplocaulus Gen1 has got good output, but it's incredibly frail. While Gen2 is got like no output, but is somewhat bulky thanks to its cunning stuff. Edmontosaurus, again, another Hadrosaurus, slow, can't do anything. It just sits there and dies. Einiosaurus, I like Einiosaurus better than most people. I think it's one of the better creatures in here. Swap and strike, heal, get out of there. That's what it does. But that's all it does. Entelodon, it's like kind of like Entelodon. This thing used to be really good, but now it is not. It's got Mutual Fury, which is okay, but then it's just got Group Shattering Impact, which isn't that amazing. That's its best form of output, and that is not good. Also, it's really frail. Gally's only got Evasive Strike and Impact and Run. That's all it has. Also, it's got good immunities, but it's really easy to take down. It's frail. No get off me. It just it's one of the better ones in here. And honestly, if someone said to move it up, I can maybe see that, but it's definitely just like a worse Ornith. Haast Gen2, kind of like Haast Gen1, does nothing. Is even slower than Haast Gen2, but it's got a better get off me. Instant distraction isn't bad, but if it had regular distraction instead of evasive strike, then it would be good, because what's the point in using another dodge move when you have dodge activated? It's dumb. Hatzegopteryx, bulky, but it just has strike and impact and run, and when it swaps in, it can't run away right away, so it's just kind of stuck there. It's usually just stuck on the field. Iguanadon, probably the second worst creature in the game. Just has a strike and a heal. That's all it has. It's slow, can't do anything, terrible damage. It's garbage. It can take out like Stegosaurus or I think even Apatosaurus, but that's really all it can do. Inostherium. The Inostherium maybe could be bumped up. It's definitely, after looking in here, I would say it's probably top 3 in the tier. But after that revenge impact, it's got nothing. It does nothing. Same with Inostrancevia kind of again has that impact, but after that it just does nothing. It's actually pretty bulky for how fast it is, but that's all it has. Like Inostherium also, that thing was made for raids. It's got the distracting move, group distraction, and mutual fury, which doesn't work on it. Irritator again made for raids, only has strike, ready to crush, and group takedown. Nothing, and it only has 1,000 damage. It's not doing anything in PvP. Kaprosuchus. Capra's really bad. It's somewhat bulky, decel immune, but it can't do anything. It's only got group ferocity and 2 strikes, and that's it. Koolasuchus. Again, not doing anything. It's garbage. Cunning impact, strike, like what? Distracting impact, I think it is. I unfortunately leveled this thing up before it was nerfed hard. That again, it has that really bad group distracting move. It's just really bad. Majungasaurus, again, another common that's always cited as like one of the worst, but it's not that bad. It's somewhat defensive. It does if you put it at the end of a swap, it's pretty decent. But again, it's like that one trick pony, but it's more of a stretch of a one trick pony compared to the creatures in the tier above it. Monolophosaurus Gen2 is just a mediocre cunning. It has some good defensive distracting moves, but it just doesn't have the stats or the bulk to hold it out. Ouranosaurus, really frail, really slow. Good damage, but it only has a strike. That's it. Parasaurolophus, again, another hadrosaur like Iguanadon. Got more output and more HP, I think, but that's all it has. It's still really bad. Phorusrhacos. Alright, so I mentioned in Earthmytherium that another creature has like my same issue with that, and it's Phorusrhacos, is that it has sidestep. And this is one, it has great output with Raking Claws, but you can easily play around this thing so much that it is not able to compete at all with like creatures above it. It just falls flat. Because especially with that 0 turn 1, like at least Earthmytherium can use the counter turn 1. This thing can't do anything turn 1. It just dies. Also has like swap and dodge, so it swaps and dodges, then it dodges again, then it can attack. It just does not work. Postosuchus, kind of like Kaprosuchus, is more frail, but it has a bit more output and is faster, but it's not doing anything. Purussaurus Gen2, decent output, but again, it just doesn't hold up. It's like good, but not amazing. Stegosaurus doesn't do anything. Strike, that's all it has. Mediocre bulk, it's just bad. Stygimoloch Gen2, better one in this tier. It can strike, impact, and run. That's all it can do. It's fast, but that's really it. It's frail. It's garbage. Tanny is not the worst. It's probably one of the best in this tier. It's really fast, distraction immune, null impact, definite strike. It's all-rounder. Is it amazing? No, but it's not bad. I could see it being bumped up. I think it should probably be bumped up. I think Apato and Tanny should be swapped. Deinonchyus, title for the worst rare in the game. Oh yeah, Ouranosaurus worst epic in the game. Forgot to mention that, but Deinonchyus worst rare in the game. It's slow, only has strike, can only heal. That's all it does. It's just bad. It's a bad creature. Even in raid, it's useless. Syntosaurus. Syntosaurus is interesting for Hadrosaur. It's actually I like the idea of a Hadrosaur with ferocity. Again, it's not going to work in PvP, but for a Hadrosaur, compared to like a Ouranosaurus, this thing is miles ahead. It's way better, but it's still not an amazing creature. And now, ladies and gentlemen, for the absolute worst creature in the game, and probably in JWA history, we gotta give a round of applause to Archaeotherium. Archaeotherium is absolute garbage. Mutual Fury and Strike, that's all it has. Yes, it has stun immunity, but like, wow, it's incredibly frail. Unboosted, I know, it only takes out 3 creatures in the entire game. 3! And the worst part of it is that 2 of them can just swoop away in that matchup. Darwin and Scaff. And if you come in on them, well, Scaff can just heal and just run away. And I mean, it's able to pin Archaeotherium, so it's not like Archaeotherium can do much. Dimorphodon is the other one it can do, and it almost usually dies as well. So in these matches, Archaeotherium, it's just horrendous. And I think even boosted, I think Archaeotherium can't even kill either of them. If I had to, I think that there should be another tier here, and that's Carcass. I'm definitely vying for that to be brought back, and Archaeotherium needs to be the poster child of Carcass, because this thing is garbage. Well, sorry, but it's just horrendously horrendous. It's bad. And that's really it. That's the tier list. There are definitely some things I am probably going to go back and ask to be changed when we do the next one, like Titanoboa Gen2. We know about Apatosaurus, don't worry. Maybe after looking at it more, maybe bump Peltodon. I'm gonna run a bit more math, but I think Pelton might fall down. Maybe see about bumping like Sucutator up. Velos and Gamma probably going together. But yeah, that's it. Best creatures in the game: Skuna and Forex. Worst creatures in the game: Archaeotherium and Iguanodon. But yeah, thank you for IDGT for having me on here, and just make sure to head over to Game Press and just like look at the stuff. We got some good stuff over here. I'm doing my every week I'm usually doing a creature feature, although I don't know when this video comes out, but I'm gonna say like maybe it's after Christmas, and I may be taking a break because I've done the 12 days of creature feature where it's one day every week. I mean, one day for like the 12 days in a row. So, but yeah, make sure you check out those articles. Make sure you check out like the tournament guides and all that. And thanks for listening.